A minister once joked that ministers had no time to watch movies. Days later, David Neo was watching the very film that had triggered questions in Parliament. The acting Minister for Culture, Community and Youth joined seniors in Tampines for a community screening of Dear You, a film performed in the Teochew dialect. Neo said the screening brought laughter, emotional moments, and conversations about family and personal memories. His main takeaway came from the phrase, "It means living with loyalty and genuine care for the people around us." He also described the film as a reminder of the sacrifices made by Singapore's earlier generations. But the screening carried significance beyond the story shown on screen. Dear You had recently become part of a wider discussion about language policy, dialect culture, and the Speak Mandarin Campaign. During Parliament on July 7th, MPs questioned whether restrictions on dialect content remained relevant and whether the long-running campaign was still effective. Neo explained that the campaign was introduced to give Chinese Singaporeans from different dialect groups a common language. Mandarin helped people communicate across communities while maintaining access to a shared Chinese cultural identity. That policy had a practical purpose during a period when many families mainly spoke Hokkien, Teochew, Cantonese, Hakka, or other dialects. However, Singapore's language environment has changed. Many younger Chinese Singaporeans now speak mainly English or Mandarin. Some understand only a few words of their grandparents' dialect. This creates a different challenge. The question is no longer simply whether one dialect group can communicate with another. It is whether younger Singaporeans can still connect with the language, humor, stories, and memories of older family members. That is why Dear You has attracted attention beyond cinema. A dialect film can act as entertainment, but it can also preserve expressions that may lose their meaning when translated. It gives seniors a rare chance to hear familiar voices represented in a mainstream cultural setting. It may also encourage younger viewers to ask their parents or grandparents about their family history. Neo said promoting Mandarin and supporting dialect heritage do not have to be competing goals. His ministry and heritage organizations have been encouraging young Singaporeans to explore their dialect roots while continuing to promote Mandarin. Clan associations are also working with the ministry to provide dialect classes. Neo said these programs could be expanded if there is enough public demand. That approach suggests a gradual change in emphasis. Mandarin remains an important shared language, but dialects are increasingly being treated as cultural heritage rather than barriers to communication. The difficult part is turning that recognition into something sustainable. A single film screening can create interest. Long-term preservation requires classes, recordings, performances, community activities, and regular opportunities for people to use the language. There is also a practical limit. Schools, families, and young people already manage several languages. Not everyone will have the time or interest to become fluent in a dialect. The realistic goal may not be full fluency. It may be giving people enough knowledge to understand family expressions, appreciate dialect media, and hold simple conversations with older relatives. From that perspective, the debate is not really Mandarin against dialects. It is about whether Singapore can preserve cultural diversity without weakening the common languages that help society communicate. Neo's appearance at the screening also matters because public policy is judged not only by what ministers say in Parliament, but by how those ideas are reflected in community life. Watching the film with seniors placed the debate beside the people most closely connected to its language and memories. The wider lesson is that language policy cannot remain fixed while society changes. A policy that once helped bridge dialect divisions may now need to operate alongside efforts to prevent those dialects from disappearing. Should Singapore provide more space for dialect films, programs, and classes, or should Mandarin remain the clear priority? Share your view in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to 2230.